Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 35 of the Everything NYJ Podcast. You already know what's going on a freaking Monday. Liam Johnson, Gino Pagano. Gino, how you doing, my friend?
A long day, but I'm happy to be here. Got a lot going on this week.
Absolutely. Absolutely, we do. We have a ton of topics to get into. We actually have some breaking news for once. I feel like it's been forever since we've had breaking news, but of course we do. But as always, before we get into the video, I just wanted to mention that you could follow us on all social media platforms. Facebook, Gino Antonio Pagano, add him there. Follow us on Twitter at EverythingNYJ. Follow us on Instagram at _EverythingNYJ. If you guys so happen to like this video, please give it a thumbs up. You can't really see that. There it is, thumbs up. If you guys really like us and you guys really like our channel, please subscribe to it. We're at 78 subscribers. Our goal is just to keep growing. We appreciate all of it. So, Gino, we're going to take it away, man.
Well, thank you very much, my friend. Well, we got to update the pup list. You know, the pup list is Mekhi Becton, George Fant, Carl Lawson, also TJ Uzama, along with Drew Samia. And we also got Samia, and we also added Craig James, and we also placed Greg Sennett on the non-football injury list as well. Jeremy Rucker is still dealing with his injury, but we'll get back. We'll continue to update Jeremy's injury. We're hoping it's not too bad, but it looks like it's a nagging injury from college, from Ohio State. I know he did re-injure it a few months ago as well. So it's just a nagging injury that just continues to continue to. I hope it doesn't happen like a Becton. I hope he can go well and hopefully, he gets
speedy recovery.
But I'm not really worried about the other guys. I know we're looking at a 3-0 lineman right now, and I know we re-signed one of them because one of them was from last year. Isaiah Williams.
Williams.
He was a backup. And then, we got Jason Peters from the Eagles we're looking at. I know we're looking at Mr. Lamb as well.
Mr. Kendall Lamb.
Kendall Lamb.
Lamb. Don't know what it is.
Lamb. We're looking at him today. That's what I have so far as breaking news for now.
So
the pup list, but the pup list, it's going to continue to fluctuate, as me and you know.
Yeah.
Because we know injuries happen during training camp all the time. So figuring it out.
There's really nobody on the pup list that I'm really surprised by. You figured some people were concerned that Mekhi Becton was on there. I was like, come on, he didn't play all season. The injury went way longer than anybody anticipated. No surprise. I'm not worried about it. They're just going to ease him back into things. I'm not too worried about that. Some of these free agent signings, there's really no big splash move. I think that's just going to be nobody that really stands out to me. No, oh my God, wow, this is really impressive by Joe Douglas. I don't even think that Isaiah Williams, Jason Peters, and Kendall Lamb. I don't think all three of them even make the team. They're just trying a couple guys out, just seeing who out of these three, and who knows, they might even add some more. We don't know.
But I also heard that Bates from the Bengals is holding out training camp. He is going to hold out. He hasn't signed a contract yet, and who knows if that's going to continue into the season or not, or maybe the Jets might make a splash by signing James as well, because we did sign James last week. We could be trading Bryce Hall into the package for that. I do know that Denzel Mims, I've been hearing around the corner that Mims is going to be traded before the season starts, but I mean, that's rumors. It's rumors all over the place. So it's one of those things.
It's July, man.
If we do trade Mims, I think it will be in the middle of preseason. And Becton could be one of those guys too if he doesn't make a turnaround. But that's JD's guy. They keep saying that that's his boy. He went on a limb getting Becton first round a couple years ago, but they like the progression he's making with Becton. But I know it's still nagging a little bit with the injury. But Mims has to go all out if he wants to make this team because the couple guys behind him are ready to take those spots.
Absolutely. When you see guys like Black and Smith's brothers, when you see them passing on the depth chart, it's never a good thing at all. But
Never.
I just wanted to touch on these offensive line signings real quick. Like I said, I don't think that all three of them are going to make the team. I think it's just some quality depth, or who knows, it might not
Right.
even be quality depth. We don't know. I do see them maybe keeping one of them, maybe like throwing them on like the practice squad or whatever, maybe even just being a backup behind Becton or George Fant, whoever.
Right.
Just either one really. It's just
Right.
I really wanted Riley Reef. I think we
Me
all
too.
did. I think I speak
Me
for
too.
most Jets fans saying that.
Me too.
I see. Here's the thing: when we signed Morgan Moses last year, it was pretty late in the year, so
It was
there's still some
huge.
hope.
It was
It was
huge.
huge. Yep. And if we didn't sign Morgan Moses last year, we would have been in some deep shit because let's be honest, if it wasn't Morgan Moses, it would probably been Chuma Edoga, which I don't think is good for anybody.
True.
And just imagine a starting line with Connor McGovern, who some people are high on him, some people aren't. Um,
Right.
he doesn't really move the needle for me to be honest, but it could be worse.
Could be worse.
I don't think Connor McGovern is the worst of any of our problems. But
Yeah.
just imagine Connor McGovern, Greg Van Roten, and Chuma Edoga.
Right. But
That
the
that
thing
is
is
a
about
dumpster fire.
but the thing about Lamb and Peters and Williams is we did re-sign Williams, but we only
Yeah.
worked out Lamb today, and Peters that's just a rumor. He's not even in the building yet. So it's one of those
Right.
things where all these rumors are going to keep fluctuating throughout training camp. And I think people
Yep.
the best topics right now, as me and you have talked about before, is all the battles is what's
Yeah.
going on the defense and offense, including the offensive line. But Herberg from the Eagles, they said that he is so good every single day. He's putting in the work. He's on fire right now. They love him there. He has nonstop work. He has been going all out. So that's what I love to hear from a new signing.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you love to hear.
Absolutely. And those are the kind of guys that we need in the building. That's a Joe Douglas guy right there.
Right.
To somebody he fits the mold. Put your head down and work. We don't need any of the outside noise. We don't need any of the drama. You don't want to give Rich Cermini a reason to write a stupid article. He does enough on his own. But you know, even like
Exactly.
Kendall Lamb, he just probably
Right.
everybody from the Browns just probably wants to get the hell out of there, and I don't blame any
Right.
of them.
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's a mess, man. But I'm liking a lot of the signings. I don't think that we're signing any of the diva guys, which is fine by
Right.
me. I think we're past
Right.
those days. What do you think?
Well, I mean, and then I'm hearing a rumor that we might sign Sue now, and I
The Ndamukong
really
Suh?
doubt. Yeah, I really doubt we're gonna do
I don't
that.
think so. I don't think
There's been
so.
a lot of talk. A lot of the analysts talk on Twitter and on ESPN on the top guys the Jets should sign, and what Sue came up, and I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't want him. I
No, me either.
personally don't want him. Is he a Super Bowl champion? Is he a really great player? Yes, but I don't want him in
Shit.
there.
Oh, sorry.
But what?
And
But
I moved real quick and I shook my
yeah,
whole tablet. Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
but like I said, it's just one of those types of guys. But I think the biggest buzz this week, and I know me and you've been texting a little bit, is the
Oh
black
boy.
helmets. The black helmets.
Oh,
I mean,
not what we wanted.
I'm hearing
Listen.
rumors. I'm hearing rumors that we're going to get a throwback next year. I'm hearing a lot of rumors that we're looking on getting one of those. One of the logos could be this one, could be another logo that we're looking to get next year, but not this year. Don't expect a throwback this year, but expect a throwback next year. But everyone's doing kind of this, like, this mixture of because we got the black jerseys, right? Black helmet. Like, people in the NFL have been kind of going back with a little bit of a throwback, like the Cowboys and Bills and Giants.
Patriots.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
even the Bears logo looked kind of weird for a
Yeah.
second too, because it looked
Yeah.
like
I'm
the
not.
Browns a little bit. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I have nothing against the new logo. I mean, it matches really well. I know the players are fired up about it. They're all comparing it to, like, when they're Spider-Man switching to Venom. Like, that's really cool. I mean, that's really funny. That's what you like to see, But
Yeah.
it like to see everyone pumped up about it in the organization, and they feel like that they are really happy with it. But for me, my grade 1 out of 10. It's a 7.
Oh,
It's a 7. I
okay.
kind of want to see. I kind of want to see how the whole thing looks on the field first.
Right.
But what about you? What do you think about the new helmets?
Well, here's the thing. They're not a bad helmet. They're
Right,
not the ugliest helmet in the world.
right,
Woody Johnson didn't take a dump on the helmet. Like, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. All right.
right, right,
It's just not what we wanted. And it just shows how
right.
Woody Johnson in ownership is still tone deaf to the Jets fan. 90% of Jets fans want the logo that you're wearing on your hat.
Oh
They
yeah, I
do.
know. I know.
And like this logo it's grown on me, but like when they first
I actually like it.
unveiled it a couple years ago, I thought it was a little tacky. I thought it was childish. It looks like some
Yeah,
clip art, that I
right,
could have made in like 5th grade personally. But it has grown on me, and I don't. I know it's a decal, right? And I said this on Twitter. Like it is a sticker that no secret, but I don't really like the white around it. The white around the Jets, it just looks like they just like bought a $2 sticker and said, "Here you go," and that is what they did basically. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe just the black with just the green would have looked a little bit better in my
right,
opinion. But it's just like I said, it's not a bad helmet. It's just not what we wanted. And how hard would it have been for them to print out their little $2 decal of
right,
that you're wearing on
right,
your hat and just slap that on there? Just give the Jets
right.
fans what they want. They could have made the helmet purple, pink, blue, whatever. If it had that logo on it, Jets fans they would have been all right, cool. We're kind of getting what we wanted. Obviously not literally, make it a different color, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it would have been so easy to please Jets fans. And then you know
Right.
what they could have sold a lot more merchandise, with that logo on it. Maybe, some black t-shirts with that logo on it. It would have looked probably a lot nicer. They would have
Right.
made a hell of a lot more money. And Woody Johnson loves to fill his pockets. It's just that's the way I look at it. Like it's not a bad helmet. It doesn't look ugly. It's just not what the Jets fans wanted in 2022. Especially when you see the same the other team that shares the same exact field, the New York Giants going throwback. When you see, the Patriots going throwback, all these other teams, Cowboys, like you had just rattled off, a bunch of teams that are all doing the throwback. Throwback is what's popular in 2022. Everybody wants to go back to the 90s. Everybody wants to go back to the 80s. There's really no trend in 2022. The trend is going backwards. That's just my opinion on it. And that's just everything. That's just not just just the Jets or not just football. It's just people like the old school stuff. And
Yeah.
it's just I think like I said, you slap that logo on, there's no Jet fan complaining. Maybe you have the one or two that you can't please because you can't please everybody.
Right.
But in my opinion, that's just my views on it. I can't speak for the other Jets fans. I'd like to think I could. I'd like to think that most Jets fans would be happy with that old school logo on it. Just saying.
Well, I think at the end of the day, you know, it's one of those things where I really hope that my sources are right. That we're going to get an old school logo next
Sources.
year. So
Gino has sources.
I'm really hoping and praying. I really hope it comes through. So it's one of those things where I'm okay with whatever happens this year. But man, if you let me down next year, oh, I'm gonna go crazy. But it's one of those things where it's even though it's what the fans want, it's they're still gonna do their own thing. We can't really help it.
Well, Gino, let me tell you this.
Life
Would
goes
you,
on.
you know what's going to happen next year? We're not going to get those helmets. Woody Johnson's going to say like, "Up yours," and then you're going to say, "Okay, see you at week 1." See you at the home opener, and
Right.
that's going to be the end of it. That's how it
Yeah,
goes. He doesn't care.
something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
Man.
moving on, talking about helmets. We got to talk about training camp. We got to talk about Salah, how he runs things, and then we want to
Yeah.
talk about the training battles on what's gonna be a good battle, what's not gonna be a good battle, who's gonna win, who's not gonna win. But let's start with training camp. Sources confirm that tomorrow the vets will be in the building for training camp along with the rookies. It's going to be really great. I think everyone's really excited. I know all my friends, especially you, we're all really excited. I know they're opening up training camp this weekend.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to go and we're going to rock it. It's just going to be so loud. It's going to be so fun. and I'm really happy to look at the highlights to get that glow back in my head. Like
Yeah.
I need that positive energy back with the Jets as much as everyone else does. But continuing with training camps, everyone reports tomorrow. Salah, the way he runs everything, he doesn't want contact, doesn't want tackling, doesn't want to get injured. But like Westhoff, we've talked about Mike Westhoff before. You
Yeah.
gotta tackle. You gotta tackle. Like I
Yeah.
understand, he's old school minded when it comes to football, and I'm not really hating on it. Like I think it's great.
No,
I think that's
I
really
do too.
cool. I mean, I love old school football, and I like the new
Yeah.
school football. I like all the forms on the way the NFL is going. But I think I'm gonna 50-50. I'm with old school, and I'm with Salah, because I just don't want any more injuries, man. I just don't
Yeah,
want
I
any.
know. I'm
I just don't
scared.
want
Like
any more
I am
injuries,
scared.
man.
That I'm
Go
afraid to go
on,
like
go
on my
on.
phone. I'm afraid to go on my phone during training camp because I'm like, oh boy, I open up Jets Twitter. I remember exactly where I was standing, what I had for breakfast that morning when Carl Lawson got injured in Green Bay,
Right.
and I was like shocked. I'm like, oh my god, like that was big, that was huge, and like I'm
That was a
I'm
turning point.
scared,
That was
man.
a turning point.
Yeah, it really was because I am scared. Like honestly, but you know, w- we're mentioning when Mike Westhoff said that if you guys, we'll plug him because we love him. He was on Green Bean. If you guys like Green Bean, we love him. Go check it out. A great interview. And he was mentioning, it was a couple weeks ago, but he was mentioning, and he makes a good point. Nobody can really tackle great during week one. You see a lot of missed tackles. You see running backs, getting open that really shouldn't have been, running through holes the way they were. Missed
Right.
tackles, dives, bad. They're trying to tackle shoelaces. It doesn't really work. A lot of bad
Right.
dives.
Right.
You need, and like I played football in high school, and we would do like our regular training drills and everything, and then we would do a couple live drills. You need the live drills. There's nothing that compares to when you're out there in pads and it's a live rep and you have a freaking defensive tackle coming at your face. There's
Right.
nothing. You can't train for that.
Right.
It's just the way it is. But you, like I said, I understand Salah. He doesn't want the injuries because we haven't seen in the 3 years or the 4 years that Joe Douglas has been here, we haven't seen his full team make it to week one since he's been here.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Joe Douglas's philosophy, his little soldiers, as I'd like to say, getting out there week one. And how different would things have been? How many different games would we have won? I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl last year or anything, but
Right.
if we have Carl Lawson, if really whoever, I'm not going to say their name every player off the top of my head right now, but if we weren't starting, 2020 with, Chris Hogan and a couple other guys, how different would it have been if we had Joe Douglas's guys going out there week one?
Right.
And the biggest thing is keeping the team healthy. So I understand what Sal was saying. He's like, listen, I want these guys healthy and I want these guys ready and fresh, ready to go for week one, something that we haven't had in a long time. So I understand Sal's point, but at the same time, I also agree with Mike Westhoff that you do need the live reps because there's nothing you can't train for live. You just can't.
And no disrespect to him at all. No disrespect to
No.
all the coaches that think like that, and all the new coaches that think like the way they think. They're gonna do what's best for their teams at the end of the day. Both sides of the ball. Old school, new school coaches. But I agree with you when it comes
Yeah.
to what he's doing. I agree with you completely. But for the rest of the take, I think people are just excited about tomorrow.
Oh, absolutely.
Getting both of them in, and that's what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to see what Becton's doing. You want to see what Mims is doing. You want to see what Zach Wilson is doing. You want to see these battles go back and forth. And the top three that people want to see the battles is what's going to happen with the tight end position.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with O-line, Becton and Fant, the way they're going to go at it. And then also what's going to happen with the wide receiver position. Is Mims going to make this team or someone going to go in it. But you know what? I'm going to add a fourth and fifth one anyway. I want to know what's going to happen with Curry. I want to know what's going to happen with the quarterbacks. What's going to happen if Gardner's going to start? Is Hall going to start? I want to know all these battles, and I'm going to give my take in a bit, like who do I think should win that. But right now, that's the big five battles that people want to see, and I agree with them. What about you? What do you think about those five?
Well, some of the interesting battles that I'm looking at, I want to see who is Sauce going to be covering. Is it going to be Garrett Wilson? Is it going to be Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios?
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis, yeah, absolutely. Whoever Sauce is covering, I think they're just going to make each other better. And I think it's been so long since we've had the talent all around the team where players are going to be making each other better. Personally, if you have whoever, there's been a bunch of nobodies. It's hard to even name like a full team from 2 years ago. It's crazy. But if you have guys like that going up against each other, then yeah, you're gonna get smoked during the regular season. But if you have somebody like Sauce Gardner, going against somebody an up and coming star, like Elijah Moore, like Garrett Wilson, then yeah, they're gonna be getting better from each other. So that I just don't think that it's gonna be good either way, no matter who's going up against each other. But I think all eyes are basically going to be on Mekhi Becton. He's been one of the biggest stories in the offseason.
Mims too.
Mims too, yeah. But like I said, like with Mekhi Becton, you either love him or you hate him. A lot of Jets fans have already wrote him off. Same thing with Denzel Mims. A lot of people have written him off too, and I think it's really a revenge year for both of these guys. And is Mekhi Becton in shape? They're posting a bunch of pictures from him. Is that picture from 2020? Is it from now? Is it from last year?
They
don't know where these.
I don't think they would do that.
You don't know, man. You don't know. You don't know.
Yeah. I get that though.
It's just we're gonna find out come training camp, and.
Right.
We're going to hear from Saleh every day, and I don't expect him to be completely transparent with us. I don't expect him to be completely honest, because when you ask Saleh, everything's great. Everything at One Jet Drive is always great.
Right.
So we're not going to really know until we see we might not even know in preseason. We might see we might know week 1. But while we're on the subject of training camp real quick, Saturday, August 6th is the green and white scrimmage. Tickets are free. If anybody would like to go, I'm going. I will see you guys there. I hope we can meet up, get a couple beers, maybe get a hot dog and hamburger together. They always have like a cool fireworks show. And it's not the same scrimmage as it's been in years past. It's not really green versus white. It's more or less just a practice. So
Right.
it's still a fun time to go to MetLife Stadium. You meet up with a bunch of Jets fans. It's a good time. So if you guys are interested in that, just hit me up on Twitter and we could plan something out. Yeah, we'll meet up and grab a beer, soda, water, whatever you guys like to drink. And I'll be tailgating. I'll be cooking some food. So stop by, man.
Dude, that's awesome. That's breaking news right there.
That's breaking news.
And then I know you're gonna go. Aren't you going to? Is that the one against the Dolphins or no?
No, I'm talking about the green and white scrimmage.
Okay.
It's like the Jets offense versus the Jets defense. But yes, what date is that? The 28th, the 8th, October 8th. I don't.
It's something like that. It's around that.
Sometime in October. Yeah, I might be going to that game, the Jets versus Dolphins home game too. I'm thinking about that. I'd like to also go to the Thursday night Jets versus Jaguars game. I'd like to be there. So that's 3 games I have right there that I'd like to go to. Definitely week 1. We 100% going to be at the home opener, and the other 2 are still up in the air. But I'd like to go to those. So if you guys are going to any of those games, let me know. Maybe I'll even come out to a couple more. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah. One a year for you is big right now, because of where you live.
Know, right? Oh, but Truman asked a question about is Brees.
Truman,
Truman, buddy, how you doing? I want to give a shout out to my cousin Sam. Sam's been watching every podcast. I didn't expect that.
Sam.
But shout out to Sam P.
What's up, Sam?
Hey, buddy. He's not a Jets fan. He's a football fan, but he's been watching all of them. Didn't expect that, but
appreciate that.
Him. All right, Truman, is Brees Hall just ahead of, in clouds above all the other running backs, and will be the lack for our number one running backs? I think so. Basically, he's saying is Brees Hall ahead of all the running backs? Is or but my car could jump in there because we all know the past 5 years it seems like me and you have talked about this. It seems like they're going with a 1-2 punch, like
Right.
Gordon and Williams from Denver. That's a big 1-2 punch right now. Is it going to be like one of those things? Is it going to be a 1-2 punch with Carter and Hall?
Absolutely.
For me, the way things are going, it seems like Hall is going to get most of the reps. But I think you can never count out Carter. What he did last season, and he just dragged he saved us last season. Okay,
He
him
did.
and Barrios saved our asses last season, along with Moore. And it's just like you can't. I think Hall is up there. I think Hall might be. I think it's going to be 50-50, but I know they love Hall's power. It reminds them of LaDainian Tomlinson a little bit, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, that's a great comparison if you're Brees Hall.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think for me, I think it's going to be 50-50. But I think we're going to see it more in preseason if he's going to be the true guy. The true number one guy. But what do you think about that question?
Well, here's what I'm going to say, and maybe it's not the most popular answer, but Brees Hall,
Oh no.
Brees Hall, is he just heading clouds above everybody else? Based off of
Right.
what? What have we seen him do in the NFL that proves him to say, that makes us think that? Yes, he was he was highly touted coming out of the draft, arguably one of the best running back in the draft. Right? Let's not kid ourselves.
Right.
But we haven't seen him practice yet. He didn't even sign his contract until last week.
Right.
So I'm not 100% sold on him in the NFL yet.
Right.
The room is there. I'd like to be sold on him. I like him. I like the pick. I think he's going to be successful.
Sure.
But we haven't seen him break any ankles in the NFL yet, And I don't think that, they drafted Michael Carter last year. I don't think they're just going to kick him to the curb. I don't think they're going to Michael P. Ryan him,
Yeah, I think they're going to keep Coleman. I think it's going to be a
Yes.
Coleman, Carter.
Yeah, he's the
Coleman,
kickoff,
Carter,
the kick returner.
Hall. I think it's going to be those three they're going to keep. I think they're going to either cut P. Ryan or Johnson, but one of them's going to make the practice squad for sure. I mean, you got to have a fourth running back. With the way that we've seen the running backs go last year, I mean, a lot of them got injured, a lot of them were out for the season, and you have some like unknown running backs coming to play. I mean, Tennessee Titans are very, they can appreciate what I'm saying right now because it was a mess for them last year. So I think you need at least good 4 solid ones for me. That's just me though.
Right, and remember, before Michael Carter got injured, he was on pace for 1,000 yards, 1,000 rushing yards last year. Michael Carter, he's no scrub,
Right.
And maybe it'll be like 60-40, with the splits. But I think they're going to have to battle it out in training camps. And I think that's one of the underrated battles that, a lot of people aren't really talking about in training camp.
Right.
They're going to be competing, who's going to be taking that first snap when the offense goes out there week 1. For the first time, who's going to be the starting running back? Is it going to be Brees Hall? Is it going to be Michael Carter? We don't know yet. Either way, it's not a bad problem for us. It's not a bad problem to have for the New York Jets right now. I think they're two very talented running backs, but I'm just I guess I've had my heart broken one too many times with these, highly touted draft picks that don't really work out. You see them get playing time and then you're like, what's that? And the same, I want to mention Sauce real quick, because obviously he hasn't given up a touchdown since high school. What are we going to What do we get? And there's just so much pressure on him. And I think there's a lot of pressure on Brees Hall. That's why I'm kind of tying it in. Don't worry, it is tied in. With Brees Hall, because he's such a, he was drafted early 3rd round, there's a lot of eyes on him and he has a lot of pressure.
Right.
Now, he's also earned that because he's played very well throughout his college career so far.
For sure.
But to put the pressure on Sauce Gardner, that what are you going to do if he goes out there week 1 and he gives up two touchdowns? Then what? Fans are going to start turning on him and hating on him. That's not fair. I don't think. It's a different game.
It's not fair.
You're playing with grown men. It's going to take time to get acclimated for everybody. Especially this rookie class, and that's just my opinion on it personally. I said. right now it's July. Everything is great, so I'd like to keep that. I'll be mad week one when when if something starts going wrong, I will gladly let you guys know.
And to end our time tonight, I think for me, I'm gonna put who's gonna win
Okay.
and who's not gonna win. I
Okay.
think the way things are going, I think Hall is gonna be that number one. I think
All right.
Conklin's gonna be that number one. I think it's gonna be Moore's gonna be number one. Davis is gonna be number two. Wilson's gonna be number three. Now that could fluctuate a lot.
It's
Like
going to.
it's going to fluctuate a lot. And
Yeah.
Mims or Smith in the backup right there. For me, I think.
What about what about Braxton?
Well,
Does he go out there with the starters week one for like when they're going onto the field for the first time?
if you're gonna do four, if they're gonna have four, yes, he's gonna be in the slot. But
Okay.
but it's one of those things about Barrios is he has a great connection with Wilson. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, everyone is so super excited to see what Davis is going to do, and everyone thinks Moore and
Yeah.
Wilson is going to be that number one or number two, number three pack. But Barrios could be the odd man out, maybe. But he's only going to be with the slot, or he's going to be your fourth down specialist and end zone specialist. But I think Conklin's going to win that number one. CJ, I think
Okay.
CJ is going to get in there. There's no doubt in
Oh
my
yeah, he
mind.
will.
He went to the Super Bowl. He's got that leadership. But
Yeah.
I think Fant's gonna win
Okay.
over Becton. I think we're gonna sign someone. We might cut Becton. I don't know. I just think George Fant has earned it, in my opinion.
Yes.
And I think Hall is going to be the number one. Zach Wilson obviously is going to be the number one. I with defense, I think if Sauce messes up, Bryce Hall is going to swoop in. And you still got Eccles, in there. You still got Carter as well.
Whitehead.
But, huh?
Whitehead.
Yeah, I think you got Whitehead. Well, I'm talking about for like corners right now. But
Okay.
yeah, and then Reed's going to be the number one, obviously.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
and then for the back end, I think obviously it's going to be Whitehead, like you said. But you know what? I don't think Joyner is going to start. I think he's got a lot to prove. I think he's got a lot to prove. They like Pinnock way too much, so I think he's going to be right there. I think he's going to be right there. And for the linebackers, Mosley, Williams, and Sherm. I want to see Sherm ball the hell out. I would love to see that happen. He did great in college. He had a great career, and I hope it continues. I know we talk about the front line on defense a lot. When it comes to Rankins, what are they going to do with Rankins? What are they going to do with Thomas? But Williams is going to be there. Quinnen's going to be there right there. Lawson's going to be on their side. If you don't have one of your number one picks, Johnson, in there, what are you going to do? Put Clemens and Curry there too? I mean, it's going to be a battle. That one's going to be a battle, but I'd love to see Johnson win that one. It's going to be fun. It's just going to be fun.
I agree with you 100%, actually. I really do. I do want to see my man. I love Michael Clemens. I want to see him get in there a little bit too. I hope he gets some time. I don't.
They said that they do, so I'm gonna do it.
I hope so, man. I agree with you. Like I said, 100%.
Yeah, but that's all from me. Give it back to you.
It's on me again. Yeah, so just to kind of like piggyback off of what Gino said, I agree 100%. I think we're gonna see a much bigger role from Braxton Berrios just because he got paid. He might even see a little bit of time over Garrett Wilson. I think they're gonna ease Garrett Wilson into it a little bit. But
Right.
Garrett Wilson, he's a lot taller than Elijah Moore. He's faster. Some people are gonna say that maybe not this year, but next year he might be better than Elijah Moore. Which what a great problem that would be to have. But I think Elijah Moore will be the better one this year, just because he has the year under the LaFleur's scheme and everything. But exciting times, man, coming for the New York Jets. One position we forgot to mention: who do you think the starting kicker is going to be? That's something that we have not figured out since Nick Folk has left. I mean, we had Myers the 1 year, but
Thank God Amendola. You know, my Cusiano, man. I love Amendola, but man, you know what? I don't trust Zerline. I'm gonna go with Eddie Pinheiro. I know people love Zerline, but I've worked with the Rams for 10 years when he was there in St. Louis. I've seen
yeah,
him
you
in
know him
LA.
firsthand. Yep.
I've seen him with the Cowboys. He's really good at the long kicks, but when it comes to short kicks, like just after a touchdown, I freak out. So it's just I mean, I understand the concern with Eddie Pinheiro, you know, he's with the Bears. And you know, the Bears haven't had great seasons like the Jets, but you know, I think right now, I think who's winning that right now is Pinheiro.
Okay.
But because I think we trust him more. But if Zerline balls out, you know, I don't mind him winning it, but I'm gonna go with Eddie Pinheiro on this one.
I like Eddie Pinheiro a lot too. I think he was very underrated for us last year. A lot
Great.
better than what we had, you know. So hopefully we finally have the kicker position, you know, straightened out. If
True.
not, then let's just get one next year in the draft, right? Let's just draft a guy. Let's just get it done, right?
Right.
Pat McAfee was drafted in the 7th round.
I know. I know.
So
Wild
let's just
time.
hope. Let's hope maybe we do have it figured out, right? But let me just say, you know, if we're going into, you know, the 2022 season with the kicker being
Right.
our biggest concern, that's a pretty good problem to have. I mean,
True.
it sucks because the kicker in special teams, and Mike Westhoff would kill me if he heard me saying this. So I better not say that in front of him. But, you know, they do contribute points and everything. You know, it is a very important, I think it's a very underrated position, but it's very important at the end of the day.
Right. It's clutch, especially in overtime.
Very. Yeah.
Especially
How
in
many games are
overtime.
won by a point? You know, I the thing, my perfect example is you think back to 2019, Adam Gase's first game, Jets versus Bills in Buffalo. They lose by 1 point. They lose 16-17 because of a missed field goal earlier in the game that I will still not live down. Still pisses me off to this day. Because that year we would have swept the Bills because we beat them later in the season.
Yeah. Oh my God! Don't remind me.
Yeah.
But to
But
end
just
this
saying,
podcast, it was a great podcast with you, buddy. I want to shout out to everybody all over the
always.
world that follow us. You know, thank you. We appreciate. We have a lot of big stuff coming up. This week we have the group chat podcast for the New York Jets coming on. Mr. Jerry and Matt coming on. We're really excited about Wednesday. Stay tuned for that. And
Yep.
then, you know, next week and the week after, we got all kinds of big surprises coming for you. I will be on Gangrene Germany's podcast in a week or two, and it's gonna be really awesome, man. Can't wait.
Not officially confirmed, but I will be appearing on a podcast as well. More info to come with that once it's confirmed. Looking forward to that. You guys have been great. You know, Truman, thank you as always for tuning in and leaving us your lovely comments. We love them. We look forward to them each and every week. So thank you for that. If anybody else would like to leave some comments, feel free to do so. We always read our chats. Gino, thank you for being awesome as always. Thank you,
Buddy.
Jets fans, for always being awesome as always. Like I said earlier, if you like the video, give it a, there it is, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Help us get our subs up there. It really helps us out. Helps us bring on bigger guests, which we have a few lined up for the future. August is going to be a very interesting month for us. Real quick, we'll say it again. Follow us on all social media platforms. Facebook, Gino Antonio Pagano. Twitter, @EverythingNYJ. Instagram, _EverythingNYJ. Thank you, guys. Love you. Be safe, everybody. Good night.